Hey, I'm back. The first thing we have to do is, if you can see over here, I am starting to tape off. And I'm using 1.5 inch tape because that's the width of this. And you need to be a good taper because you don't want squiggly lines all over the place when you're done. So you run your tape all the way around, and I'll come back when it's all taped off. See ya. Hey, I'm back. So I got them all taped off. Also, I taped off the inside. Look at my messy cabinets. Let me do this one. So that I wouldn't have bleed overs when I paint the dark brown around. So anyways, we're ready to start painting the dark brown. And fortunately for me, I saved the paint from the last time I did the rest of the cabinet. So we'll have a good match. I'll be right back. Hello, I'm back. Started painting the one cabinet door. Thing you need to be, when you're doing this has to be a shiny paint on the dark brown. So I believe this is probably a semi-gloss. And you'll find out why later. But just go ahead and paint all of this dark brown. Jab it in the corners. Put on a nice coat. And the way I'm doing this, it's much better brushed than rolled because of the way that I'm going to do this finish. I'm actually going to use a crackle medium to do it. So, I know when I watch tutorials, I like to get to the point. I don't like to watch every little thing. So I'm going to give you short snippets of each step so you can get through it quick. And I will see you when I'm done painting brown. Thanks. Bye. Hey, I'm back. So, since I didn't prime the bare wood, which I didn't on the other ones, I guess you could have primed it, but rather than that, this was paint and primer one, I just put 3 coats on there so I could get a nice sheen for my base. It's all done. So now what I need to do is pull the tape, and if I did a good taping job, it'll come off nice and clean. Can you see? Yay, there we go. So now I've got to retape again. I've got to tape on this little edge so I can paint this inner panel with the white. So I'll pull the tape off and I'll get the white mixed up. And what I'm going to do is, I just have some white. I'm going to try to mix it to the color, excuse me, of this white up here. Now, if you're not a color mixer, I happen to be because I'm a faux finisher, but you could just go to the paint store and pick any color white. It's not going to really matter. I just want this to match my birch bark canoe. So I will see you in a little while and we'll put the next step on. Thanks. Bye. Hello, we're back. Okay, I got this taped off. Taping is really important because if you don't tape good and it doesn't get stick, you'll get little bleeds under it. And if you don't get a nice straight line, you'll have bad edges when you pull the tape off. So I've got the 3 coats of the semi-gloss on here, and I have my flat, oh no, I have my crackle medium, which is right here. And my brush, hold on. What I'm going to do is, which one can you see the best? This one. I am going to brush a fairly uneven layer of crackle medium on this. This happens to be Valspar, but I've used lots of different kinds. And I don't have to cover every surface. Where I put it on heavier, I'll have bigger cracks. And where I put it on lighter, I'll have smaller cracks. And where I don't put any on at all, obviously I won't have any cracks. So we're going to get this on there. It doesn't have to be fussy. And then once this is on, it's a rainy day today, so it's really humid in here. I'm going to get the blow dryer on it for a little while. And once it dries, then we go on to put the white birch bark color, which I had a pure white, and I added black to it to make it a little gray to match the rest of the cabinets. But like I said, if you're doing it yourself and you're starting on something from scratch, then you can use any color of white. It doesn't really matter. So I'll see you in a minute. Bye. Hello again. This is a good time to check your tape to make sure that it's stuck good. So you might want to just run your fingernail along the edge of all this tape so that when you pull it off, you won't have any bleeds. So I brushed the crackle medium on. And now, hold on, let me move over just a little. I'm going to paint on this white. And the trick to doing this is you don't want to paint over the area that you did already, because it's going to start to crack really quick. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to brush it on, and then I've got this little brush, but you can kind of use any kind that you want. And I'm going to pull some of the paint off, and that's going to give you the little black spots like up here in the birch bark. So here we go. I have kind of a big fat brush, which, okay. And it doesn't matter, you know, where you have it thinner, you're going to have a nice different effect than where you put it on real heavy. Just want to make sure you get down to the edges. You want to go in one direction, unless you want your birch bark going, you know, sideways. This can, if you're not using a blow dryer on this, I use a blow dryer and I blew it dry just until it was dry, and then I stopped. But if you don't use the blow dryer, in normal humidity conditions, you have like from 1 to 4 hours, so, which is good. But once you start getting it on, you got to get it on. You notice I'm working in like columns. I'm not going here and there and here and there. And you can see it starting to crack. This is so fun. I hope you have fun doing it. Here we go. See how it's starting to crack? Here, I'm going to zoom the camera in so you can see. See the cracks? Now I'm going to take this little brush and I'm just going to pull and push to get those little birch barky spots. I hope you can see, because I don't know what I'm doing here. Okay. Whoops. And what I like too is it leaves some nice nubs and texture in here. Some of the doors I'll put more, some less. And then you can do this thing. Really kind of anything you want. It's going to look birch barky. And then the magic after this comes with the glaze. So it's lots of steps. And I forget how long it took me. I have a lot of cabinets in here. And it probably took me a good part of a week, but I didn't work nonstop on it. This segment that I'm doing right here, with the blow drying everything, will probably take me, I don't know, a couple hours. Okay, look at that. Okay, now this is the part that gets a little tricky, because I just do a little bit of this and a little bit of that. So I have 3 colors mixed up. I have gray, and I have just like a brown, and then I have this color, which is kind of a chestnutty, I don't know what it is, but whatever this color is up here in this birch bark, it's that kind of that color. So what I do is I've just wadded up a couple of damp paper towels, and I kind of just use whatever I have around. If I have a little piece of a sponge or whatever. And then I have a little teeny brush right here. So I'm going to back up a little bit so you can see me. All right. So I've got my 3 little cups here, and I have a clean, damp paper towel. And so I'm going to take a little damp paper towel here and dip it in the I don't know what color this is. Anyway, look, and I'm just slopping it on. And what I did was I mixed a little bit of artist acrylics with my favorite glazing product if I'm doing quick projects. Just plain old Floetrol that you can buy at Lowe's or Home Depot. And it's great for a glaze. It thins it without making it too watery. So look, I'm just putting it on. It's going to stay wet for a little while. And then I'm going to take some and rub some brown in here, just here and there. And then you can kind of just do whatever you want with it. You can pull some of it off with a damp paper towel. Let me put some gray in here. I've actually done it just mixing paint and water before if I want to get a project done really quick. But I already had this mixed up from something else that I did. Not these cabinets, but something else. And then I take my little thing, my little chippy brush, and jab into the corners so we don't have a little white edge around there. And up at the top. Okay, then I'm going to take a cleaner, damp paper towel, if I have one here. Look. And I'm just kind of, can you see? I'm just kind of rubbing it around. And you want to put a little texture in there. That's why I like using the paper towel, because you can add texture. You can pull some out. You can move it around. And I also have to step back and look at it to make sure it kind of matches the other cabinets. This is a little tricky when you're trying to match an existing finish, but hopefully it'll turn out okay. Let's see. I'm gonna put a little gray in here. And I grew up around birch bark, so I mean, I just love it. These cabinets actually sat for like 2 years because I couldn't figure out what in the world to do with them. And then I was looking up kitchen cabinets one day on YouTube or something, and actual birch bark cabinets popped up. And they were just like this, except the real thing. And I thought, oh my gosh, yes, that's what I have to do. So I figured it out. And I have to say, this is a really fun finish to do, especially if you love birch bark like I do. Like I said, you can kind of do anything with it. And if you have a piece of birch bark to copy, I guess that's even better. So I like my little trusty canoe up here. Now I'm going to step away from it and look at it and see how I like it. Kind of have a glare from the light there. I kind of like it. Like I said, I tend to get things too even. So, you know, like if you have a big dark spot in the middle or you need to add some more color here or there, that's okay. I love this color. So I hope you will try this, because see that? Look at that. Isn't that great? Look, that's just that dark stripe down there, which makes it look, see, you can do anything. Slap the side of the brush on there, whatever. Doesn't really matter. And it's a very forgiving finish because the irregularity of nature makes it easy to copy. Okay. So I'm going to do the other one, and then I'm going to pull the tape, and then I put a satin water-based polyurethane on here for longevity. And like I said, I did these other cabinets I bet 3 years ago, and they are just holding up fabulously. Now I'm just trying to figure out what kind of poles to put on there. Ideally, I'd like to go find some deer sheds and cut them up and use little antler poles, but there's not too many deer sheds around here, and I don't feel like going out looking for any. So anyways, have fun with this finish, And I hope you'll see my next tutorial. I'm not sure what it is, but I know I'm going to do a faux brick with paint. And I am going to do a plaster embedded finish. So stay tuned for those. Not sure when they're coming, but hit like if you think this is a great project and hit share. Share with your friends, and I'll see you next time. Bye.